7 weeks pregnant and this responsibility. How could you do this to me? What you mean what I'm talking about?
What are you doing? Why are you trying to explain?
Because you're Cashapp. Because you tricked me and you lied to me just to my pants. Yes, we've been talking together for and messing each other. How you don't want to kill me, but you
don't nothing to do with you. It's just I just posted and quit.
No, you're not. No. I care this child because you're a liar. Because you've been chasing me, and I finally give you a chance.
I'm chasing you. I'm just chasing you to see it. And you talking about having a kid with me? Go ahead with it, bro. Go ahead, and then you trying to put me on blast. Like, that's gonna piss me off right there. You trying to put me on the internet.
But everything you told me, our connection.
Yeah, you ain't never been played before? You ain't never been played before,
wow,
bro? You don't know the game.
Really?
I say sweet to you. Really?
All right.
That's it.
All right. Yeah. That's how you want to play?
I'm telling you now. Look, I don't want nothing to do with no kids.
You
don't
have everything to do with this child. You got me messed up. You're going to do everything that you need to do to take care of the child. Child support. What you talking about? For what? For our baby.
Look,
for our baby.
My kid. You ain't showing me no DNA test, and you just trying to pop a kid on me.
Who else have I been with, bro? Who else have I been with? I don't show you nothing about wifey material.
I've been pulling up on you.
Y'all want to chase us down, and then when we finally give y'all a chance.
Man, go ahead. Right.
When we finally get a chance, and now I'm pregnant. Now you don't want nothing to do with me, right?
You right. I don't want nothing to do with you because I'm telling you that now.
I'm gonna be a
so I'm trying to make the decision to have a kid, and I'm already telling you. It's my right.
And I told you that I didn't want to mess with nobody. And what you do? Oh, I think you're beautiful.
You right.
Sweet
talk. I'm sweet talking. That's it. And you fell for it.
And I fell
but I don't want no
kid. Is that how you gonna talk to me?
I don't want nothing to do with you.
You know what you're doing to my mind right now?
I don't care about none of that.
What you mean you don't care?
I don't care
What you mean you don't care? I'm 7 weeks pregnant.
Go get him to do something you talking about.
I'm not doing that to my body.
Go ahead. I'm telling you right now, I don't even want nothing to do with the kid. I don't want nothing to do with you.
Yo, that is so messed up.
Come on. Man. And you still trying to have a baby.
No, yes, I am.
See, that's what's
I thought we had
right
connection.
There. Why would you? Who?
Us.
That surface level we've been doing? Come on, bro.
Surface level, right?
We ain't talking about
opening my surface level, right?
What is you talking about?
But opening my surface level, though?
Yes. That is surface level. What are you talking about?
No, you don't take care of the child, like I said.
I'm not taking care of nothing.
Yeah, you are.
I don't want nothing to do with the kid.
You don't have everything to do with the kid, child support.
I don't even want to meet your family. Like, you gotta go
Why
ahead with that.
Why are you so nasty, though?
Man,
that's what's wrong with y'all dirt. What you talking about? You're gonna take care of this child, like I said, and that's it.
Nothing.
All right, I'm gonna call my dad. I'm gonna call my uncles. It's gonna be a wrap.
What are you talking about?
That's going to scare you. It's going to scare you because now you're gonna know better. Now you're going to know better. Now you're going to know better. You're gonna see. You're gonna see.
Don't scare me at all, bro.
You're gonna see.
How about
okay.
that? How about that? How about that? Yeah, and don't even reach out to me because you.
I'm not doing none of that. No, you have okay. Watch this.
Wow. All right, family. So let's run it back. We'll go over the issues as we catch up to them.
7 weeks pregnant and this responsibility. How could you do this to me? What you mean what I'm talking about?
What are you doing? Why are you trying to explain?
Because you're Cashapp.
All right, so she starts off by saying, I'm 7 weeks pregnant and it sounds like it's your effing responsibility. His response when he looks back at the camera is like, why are you recording me? Now, unless she's recording him because she wants this for their memories, there's no reason to be recording him this soon. Even if he denies the child, even if he says he doesn't want responsibility, if it's his child, far too soon to be recording. You don't know for sure it's his baby yet, and even if you know, he doesn't. So it's best to just go with proof, right? It'd be best had you vetted better and you had a man who had a plan and he wanted a child. Hopefully he had married you first, so you know you guys are creating a family. But when you end up in a situation like this, you can't go back. So the best thing you can do is move forward. And this video is full of two people arguing with the universe. All right, I'm gonna hit continue and we're gonna break this down. Let's go.
You tricked me and you lied to me just to my pants. Yes, we've been talking together for and messing each other. How you don't want to kill me, but you
don't nothing to do with you. It's just I just posted and quit.
No, you're not. No.
Now, how is it that his objective is just to hit it and quit it, or just to have some type of fun, and her thoughts is that he wanted something else. How did that get twisted? Except for she didn't get his clarity, right? She didn't force him to make it known and didn't force him to be an example and demonstrate everything that he was trying to show. Why didn't she do that? Why doesn't he know that if he don't want a baby with somebody, that looks like strapping up or even not even touching that person? Arguing with the universe. You're here now. The best thing to do is just go, okay, you think it's mine? I believe it's yours. You're the only or I know it's yours. You're the only person I mess with, or I believe it's yours. All right, let's not embarrass her. That could be the mother of your child, right? So it's not important to get in your emotions and embarrass her, even if she has multiple options, multiple potentials, right? And if you're not ready yet, if you're sounding like you're full of doubt or even in denial or refusing to take responsibility, she shouldn't expose you publicly either, right? Because you don't want to embarrass each other. This is your future self's mother or father or potential mother or father, right? So handle this like an adult. You didn't handle the other things like an adult, and that's why you're here. It's sad that we call doing it being an adult, right? We think that because we're old enough to make our own decisions, because, you know, when you're grown, there's nobody to tell you no. There's nobody to tell you no. So what comes in and out of your life, you're going to have to be the regulator of that. So if you have a parent over you, of course, as a child, they tell you who to bring in and out of your life. They tell you what you can and can't have in the store, things of that nature. But when you get older, you will become an adult. And if you're not disciplined, you're going to ruin your life, because you're never going to tell you no about your own desires. Okay, you're never going to look in the future and say, that's not wise to spend this here. It's not wise to do this with this person today, all because of a feeling I have today. And so you'll just keep saying yes to yourself. And what will happen is you'll have consequences down the road. And the consequences are unavoidable. You cannot escape the consequences. And the consequences are often lifelong. So we have to have discipline before we ever leave the house. We have to have discipline to know what our plan is and to stick to our mission. And stop forsaking it for these little instant gratifications, right? You get horny, okay, I'll sleep with any old woman. That could blow your whole life right there. You understand? And a lot of guys be thinking, well, I'm just out here having fun, but you understand, you throwing your stuff on the crap table, because you can do it 100 times and come away, okay, cool, but the one time is the one that can ruin your life. And I don't even mean just with a child. Think about how many scholarships have been lost, how many jobs have been lost, how many freedoms, how many people has lost their freedom due to that act, all because she changed her mind later and said, hey, I wasn't willing. How many times have you guys seen a girl willingly do things with multiple men at a time, and then later on decide that she might have got coerced or manipulated because she doesn't feel comfortable that she did that? She won't take accountability for that. So she'll just say, they did something to me. How many times have you saw this happening? So it's not even about necessarily her getting pregnant. You don't know the character of the person you're choosing. And I've seen them do this just because their daddies find out. They don't want to be accountable to, you know, being fast or whatever. So they'll just say, he did this to me. Their inaccountability has caused so many men to go down. So you got to be wise, man. But let's continue.
No. I carry this child because you're a liar, because you've been chasing me, and I finally give you a chance.
I'm chasing you. I'm just chasing you to this.
See, somebody being after you and chasing you, that doesn't indicate that he wants to be a good father, that he will be a good father. And this is what I mean by moving too quickly, falling victim to your own foolish philosophy, and now you're pregnant and you can't undo that consequence. Now, beforehand, if someone would have told you marry before you carry, you wouldn't have wanted to hear that. But now that all would make sense, right? Because if you were married first, this man likely wants children with you. I'm sure he does. So now you're telling him, hey, we're 7 weeks pregnant, and he's excited. He's kissing on your belly. You understand? He's telling you how much the future means to him and how he's going to protect you and provide for you and make sure that you never have to want for anything. But instead, you gave it to this guy who, who been chasing you for a while and giving you some attention. It's crazy. But let's continue.
And you talking about having a kid with me? Go ahead with that, bro. Go ahead. And then you trying to put me on blast. Like, that's gonna piss me off right there. You trying to put me on the internet.
But everything you told me. Our connection.
Yeah, you ain't never been played before? You ain't never been played before,
wow,
bro? You don't know the game.
Really?
Even if that upsets you, still don't take it any further. There's no need for you to say, he told me he was playing me, so let me just go tell the community that he was playing me. let it go, let bygones be bygones, and say, you know what? I didn't vet the man. I guess this is similar to when a woman plays a man and acts like she's really into him, gets him for his money, and now he wants to publicly tell the world about it. But really, it's like, bruh, all you can do is go on your way. You ain't gonna get the money back. Publicly shaming her ain't gonna get you your money back. But I guess at this point is I'm upset, and when I'm upset, I feel justified in doing these things. And that's her right now. Okay, so he's telling her things she don't want to hear. It's mean as hell, no doubt about it. She's realizing she's been dealing with a demon, someone who just talking, ain't about to live up, but she hasn't been having him demonstrate. So she fell victim to the demon because she fell, she allowed her ears to be tickled. Some point in here, she's like, well, you told me I was beautiful. You told me this and that. That shouldn't be enough. Why is that the reason you're giving a man access? Because he's talking a good game. He should be demonstrating always, man. This is how you know a demon. Demons talk. A man should be about that action. He's not telling you that he has a future plan with you. He's not showing you that he wants a future with you. Why are you opening your legs to this man? Him being interested in you, him chasing behind you. You know, a man can do that for years just because he wants to conquer it. He can chase a woman for years, and he can do that for longer when he's not emotionally attached, when he doesn't even like her like that. That's when he can do it. If he actually likes you, turning him down will hurt. But if he can chase you for a long time, and although you're denying him, trust me, he only wants that thing. Ask Lauryn Hill. But let's continue.
Really? All right. That's how you want to play?
I'm telling you now. Look, I don't want nothing to do with no kids.
You don't have everything to do with this child. You got me messed up. You're going to do everything that you need to do to take care of it.
Now, see right there, there's no need to argue back with him because you actually have a system that's set up to make him be accountable. Even if he's not there in discipline and giving the child attention and giving the child love, the finances, hey, you can definitely take him to court and get him for child support. That's the world we live in. So I don't see why you sitting here arguing with him about how you're going to make him do anything. He said he didn't want to take care of the child. He's doing a lot of talking. First things first, get a paternity test. And if he is the father, if he doesn't want to be there for your child, then you got to do what you got to do for your child. I don't personally believe that should be a court matter. I think it should be a social matter. But hey, you know the tools that you have at hand. So why sit here and argue with somebody when you can just go around him? It makes no sense to argue with a demon. He can talk till he's blue in the face. He'll have to take care of that child in the world that we live in. Let's continue.
Child support. What you talking about?
Fool.
For our baby.
Look,
for our baby.
My kid. You ain't showing me no DNA testing. You just trying to pop a kid on me.
Who else have I been with,
bro?
And that's all he should be asking is, okay, you say it's mine? Okay, cool. Have you been with anybody else? No, it's only you. All right. If he hadn't been vetting and paying enough attention to see that that's true, I'd take her at her word and say, if you need anything during this pregnancy, because you wasn't in a relationship, I wouldn't sit there and change around and turn into some whole man, and I don't know that the child is mine. So I would just say, you know, if you need anything monetarily, things like that, going to appointments, I want to get to know you better, certainly, and do that part, because if this child is mine, I want to know how we're going to lead this child or raise this child, what her beliefs are, what that might look like, because this is very important. No, you wasn't expecting it, but it's here because of what your actions was doing. You can talk to your blue in the face. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. But now it's time to be accountable. And I feel like that's what men should be, is accountable to whatever they're doing, good or bad. Be accountable to it. So if this was actually me in this case, even if I didn't like that woman, it's time to stand up now. And it's 7 weeks. All right, you got some time. You got about what? You got 7 months, almost 7.5 months to prepare for this baby, man. So that's what it is. But let's continue.
Who else have I been with? I don't show you nothing about life material.
I've been pulling up on you.
Y'all want to chase us down, and then when we finally give y'all a chance.
See, so he has doubts. He's not sure he's the only one that you've been with. He said, he feeling like, I just been pulling up. I got it too easily. So he don't know your value because he feels like he got it too easily. And then based on that, he determines, hey, you've been with other people as well. If or when that happens, don't argue about it. Maybe you have had multiple partners, maybe you haven't, but talking doesn't prove it right now. So if you are going to have this baby, the thought in mind should be, well, what if he doesn't be there for this child as far as, loving wise, attention wise, being in the child's life? Do I want to bring a child into this world that way? And I believe that you should, 100%. No other way around that. And it sounds like from this video, she wants to do that. So you have to start thinking about what the consequences may be of choosing a man who's not ready to be a father. If he's not ready to be a father at birth, this is the man you chose. Hopefully he decides to want to be a father and he comes back around, but that's the child's father, and the child needs to know who their father is regardless. So get the paternity test regardless. Have this man take a paternity test. So at least he can know, you can settle his doubts. Because as he was saying earlier, I want a paternity test, and no doubt about it, you should just give him that. No doubt about it, but let's continue.
Hey,
right. When we finally get a chance, and you being happy, and now I'm pregnant, now you don't want nothing to do with me, right?
You right. I don't want nothing to do with you, because I'm telling you that now.
I'm gonna be a
so don't try to make the decision to have a kid, and I'm already telling you.
It's like, and I told you that I didn't want to mess with nobody, and what you do? Oh, I think you're beautiful.
You're right.
Sweet
talk. I'm sweet talking. That's it. And you fell for it.
And I fell
but I don't want no
Is that how you gonna talk to me?
I don't want nothing to do with you.
Well, you know what you're doing to my mind right now?
I don't care about none of that.
What you mean you don't care?
I don't care
What
about
you mean you don't care?
A lot of dudes that do this because they just want you to just go end the baby. They think if they be so mean to you, if they show you enough that they don't want to be there, that you'll just go end the baby. That's crazy, man. The dudes be out here that devious. They want to part of your body. They want to be all up in them skins, but they don't want to take care of the baby at all. That's why you got to vet better. And a lot of times you got to think about what do y'all even want out of this? You know, dude look like Kale. Keep thinking of Kale. Like all I think of is good. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the home of the good burger or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's wild. Let's continue.
I'm 7 weeks pregnant.
Go get them to do something you talking about.
I'm not doing that to my body.
Go ahead. I'm telling you right now, I don't really want nothing to do with the kid. I don't want nothing to do with you.
Yo, that is so messed up.
Come on. And you still trying to have a baby.
No, yes, I am.
See, that's what's
I thought we had a
right
connection.
there. Why would you? Who?
Us.
That surface level we've been doing? Come on, bro.
Now listen, you shouldn't be trying to keep the baby just because you feel like they have a connection and you hear this man saying he don't want it. I don't even want to get into that because I don't think the baby should be ended anyway. That's a life. If she would have said something like, because I don't believe in, ending babies or something like that, I could completely understand. And he would be foolish for wanting her to change her moral philosophy that easily. But this is something that should have been discussed way earlier. Like, what if you get pregnant? And people say, well, why talk about stuff like that? That's just a turn off. Look, man, y'all keep saying y'all grown. But apparently y'all grown enough for everything but adult conversations. So you rather just move blindly cause what? You don't want to talk about it? Talking about it ruins the mood? That's wild, man. Let's continue.
Surface level, right? But opening my surface level, right? But opening my surface level, though.
Yes, that is surface level. What are you talking about?
No, you don't take care of the child, like I said.
I'm not taking care of nothing.
Yeah, you are.
I don't want nothing to do with the kid.
You don't have everything to do with the kid, child support.
I don't even want to meet to a family. Like, you gotta go
why
ahead
you
with
so
that.
nasty though?
Man,
that's what's wrong with y'all dirt. What you talking about? You gonna take care of this child, like I said, and that's it. All right, I'm gonna call my dad. I'm gonna call my uncles. It's gonna be a wrap.
Hold on. What are you talking about?
That's going to scare you. It's going to scare you because now you're gonna know better. Now you're going to know better. Now you're going to know better. You're gonna see. You gonna see.
Man, all the power that you have is to wait until this baby is born, get a paternity test, and take him to get child support. You can't be calling fathers and uncles and nothing to try to attack your potential baby's father. That is ridiculous. That when you can't get somebody to do what you want them to do, you think you can attack them or use all these different means, man. That's not right at all. That's not right at all.
And honestly, this needs to stop. Weaponizing your family members because you don't get your way is absolutely wrong. Do you realize you are risking your family members? Have you seen all of the news cases where a girl sent her family members to attack a guy and that guy ended those family members because he was well prepared? She warned him, just like she's doing, saying, hey, I'm gonna send my family members over here to take care of you. And he'd be like, send them on over here and watch what I do. Why would he allow somebody to just come and assault him? Why do you believe it's okay to send your family members to attack someone when you don't get your way? We say Black Lives Matter, but as soon as we can't get somebody to do what we want them to do, we're sending somebody to attack. Now, when a woman decides to end her baby, even when the man wants it, all he can do is have understanding. He's supposed to understand it's her body. Even if he really wanted that child, he is not able to send somebody over there to do anything to her. He has nothing at his disposal to get her to change her mind. And she doesn't expect him to try and change her mind. But she'll try and change his. She'll try and force him to be a father and even threaten his life, which is the life of her child's father, if he don't be there. Yo, that's crazy. Have y'all ever saw Menace to Society? Cain. He had gotten this girl pregnant, or supposedly. She calls him up to say, hey, you're the only one I was with, and I'm pregnant by you. He goes, it ain't mine. He didn't even decide to wait until the baby was born and get a paternity test. He chooses to deny it right there. Guess what she does? Sends her cousin to question him about it. Cousin questions him. He says he didn't want any trouble. He hits the guy, stomps him out, him and his friend, and then a couple months later or weeks later on this movie, those friends end up retaliating by doing a drive-by. Cain was preparing to leave, and then they drive by and just ended it. As he lays here on the ground, coughing up blood, we're sitting here saying, damn, Cain is gone. We like Cain. But in reality, Cain blew that. He hits a cousin first. He denies the baby, and he could have just waited for paternity without triggering the woman. You understand? It's crazy because now her cousin ended her potential child's father's life if she's truly pregnant by Cain. What if she was pregnant by Cain to begin with, y'all? Think about this. That means he denied his own child, beat up her child's family member, and her family member ended up taking her child's dad's life. How you gonna explain that one? But this happens all the time because we can't have a conversation or an argument without going to sending goons. Yo, it's crazy.
If you were having this child and if he wanted you to have this child and you didn't want it, you'd be free to go in that child. You understand? And this has happened to so many men. This is crazy, man. Just the part about her talking about getting her family members on him, that's wild. But he's a horrible guy. He's a horrible guy. So he's saying all these horrible things to try to get her to just end it, just to try to hurt her feelings. She even said to him, do you know what you're doing in my mind right now? He said he didn't care. Regardless of whatever connection she said that she had, here he is telling her that, hey, it wasn't that deep. It was just surface level, basically invalidating her. I could bet money the man was all up in her face, acting like she was the world. Because he already admitted to lying just to get close to her. So now, of course, he's going to talk to the blue in the face and say everything he can to get out of being responsible for this child. It's unreal, man. It's unreal that ladies will sleep with guys that's that low vibrational when there are men out here who want a child, who would love the opportunity to be able to bring their future self into this world and be a great father, be a great husband. But they'll choose these knuckleheads who just talk themselves into the game. A lot of these guys, they do not take life seriously. Even in the face of someone telling them, I might be having your child potentially, they won't take that seriously. They'll fight with the universe. When this is the time to get yourself in order. If you don't have a job, get one. If you don't have savings, get one. If you don't have it figured out, get it figured out. You got some months. I think the universe gives us grace. There's no reason for us to be running in fear. We'll start thinking about, I ain't ready for that shit, and I don't have the funds, and maybe I don't want to even have a baby with this person. But man, you sitting here trying to argue with the universe or argue with God. All you can do at this point is stand up and be a man. Regardless of how much you don't like what this woman just said, ain't nothing you can do or say to change it. When she says she want to keep that child, there's nothing you can do to try to change her mind. So don't try to say the most hurtful things to change her mind, and she shouldn't try to say the most threatening things to try and change yours. You understand? At this point, you got a baby coming to this world or not. Talking ain't gonna change a single thing. You know you slept with her. So if you slept with her and she tells you it's yours, don't deny the child. Get a paternity test. It would suck for her to have you on camera denying your child later in life or anything like that. That'd be online forever or anything like that. So if you know you mess with her, and you know, even if you know it was several of y'all, I'll say this again, if you know it was several of y'all, there's no, try and practice discretion. As long as she's upfront about it and told you up front, hey, it might not be yours. I was with a few guys. Try and practice discretion, and all of y'all be there at the place whenever she has the baby, wherever you're gonna have it, if it's at home or you know, however you choose to do that, be there, get the paternity test immediately because it's for the child. Help find that child's father, even if it's you. Okay, very important that you do that. Very important. Quit running from responsibility because we're bringing children in this world and we're equally accountable to broken homes. Because while there are women out there who are not choosing the right guys and bringing these babies into the world, they got that seed from somewhere, and it's because of low vibrational men that just want to hit it, that just want to have some fun. So they'll virtually sleep with anybody. But then when she's pregnant, oh, I don't want the baby. That's crazy. That is crazy, y'all. We got to grow up. You're not grown if you can't handle the consequences. If you can't man up to the consequences, you're not grown. If you can't woman up to the consequences, you're not grown, man. You're just talking. You're just saying you're grown. Put on that fake seaweed SpongeBob mustache and just go ahead and run down the street claiming that you're manly men and women, because you're not. But you're just talking, pretty much. Let's finish this video. I'm done with this though.
Scare me at all, bro. I'm
gonna
finna
see.
dip. How about
Okay.
that? How about
Alright.
that? How about
Okay.
that? Yeah, and don't even reach out to me because
I'm not doing none of that. No, you have okay. Watch this.
Yeah.
She's still saying, watch this, communicating threats, and he's still saying, I don't want nothing to do with the kids, communicating insults and not taking responsibility or accountability. You know how they say we perish for lack of knowledge? This rings true here, because if he knew the power of his seed, that's connected to every ancestor that ever came before him, and that he's passing the baton on to his future self, with all of them ancestors concentrated into that one child, and that's his legacy and his lineage, there's no way he'd be walking away from that. There's no way he'd be saying, I ain't want nothing to do with it, I don't want to meet the family, because he would definitely want to meet the family, the other half to his child's identity. That would be direly important to him. But he lacks knowledge, and she lacks knowledge as well. So this is the end result to what this type of behavior gets. Children born into broken homes, growing up without parents, not getting access to knowledge, not knowing their own worth, and they end up recreating that cycle. So we grow up saying, dang, why our parents ain't there for us? Why is this and why is that? And then we grow up and repeat it, not knowing that our parents didn't intentionally do this stuff. Our parents didn't intentionally give us bad fathers, or our fathers didn't intentionally choose bad mothers. They didn't intentionally choose to stay away and not be there and abandon, and they didn't intentionally do these things. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Many of them meant well. Many of them was just somewhere else in their own moments. You know what I mean? Focused on what the world had to offer at the time, neglecting the children, but not doing it intentionally. You understand? The children grow up longing for more, and things like that. The parents oftentimes don't even know what they're doing, and we'll look at our parents and judge them, but then we'll go and repeat it, and then we should learn that these things happen. And when you're absent-minded, when you're asleep, when you're not aware of the moment, when you're not planning, this is when we create the most chaos. And it's the children that end up suffering the most because of it. Because they didn't ask to be here, family. We created them in our actions. When we were either asleep, or, trying to have fun, trying to get a nut, trying to get a feeling. You're powerful beings, yo. Whether you intend on creating a child or whether you're just trying to get a feeling, you can create a whole life out here. That's your ancestors, man, depending on you to find good ground. It's your ancestors depending on you to find a good man, ladies. Peace.